Are you wondering what's the best online business to start? Are you thinking about starting an online business as you head into retirement or in those years before retirement so you can have that as an extra income stream? I'm going to be talking about in this video how to choose an online business to start. I'm Camille Gaines, and I write about creating income streams before retirement and building wealth after 50 at retirecertain.com. In this video, I want to share with you how to pick an online business to start. Now, I do this from a place of having started several online businesses. I've had an Amazon store. I do have an Amazon store. And also we have a couple of financial education websites. And it can get overwhelming because you hear a lot of people online that are really promoting their model and maybe with the private jet or the mansion in the background and all that. But I just want to tell you firsthand what I've learned over about 13 years ago since I started my first little online business, which was a blog, and I learned a whole lot since then. And the industry's changed since then. I know what sort of works and what doesn't work and what takes a lot of work and what's pretty easy. So in this video, I'll share with you, how to figure out what kind of online business to start if you're at that point where you know that this makes sense for you, as I was, and I simply couldn't resist it. And I think it makes sense for so many people going into retirement because we know a lot of stuff. And because it doesn't take any capital to get started, it's crazy the opportunity that's there. So the very first thing that I write about and talk about a lot is always going back to defining what your goals are based on your overall plan to create wealth, have wealth, retire comfortably, whatever you want to call it. That overall plan, what is it that you need to enjoy life? And how much money do you need to pay for it, right? So that's the very first step, is start from there. Don't start from, analyzing a product store versus a website versus a service-based online business. Start from what you want in your life, because I can tell you that it takes, some models take a lot more time and effort than others, and other ones take more time to get going, and etc. So start with what you want, okay? Your goals around this online business. And then the next thing to look at is, consider around that, do you need income right away, or can you start building and plan on having income later? This is ideal for someone that's still working an online business, that's maybe a gradual process of building an online business. A perfect example is an information-based blog or website that, has an article or two published every week to it, where you can just kind of get some traction going well before retirement. That can be perfect because it takes a long time to generate income from that type of model. On the other hand, if you need to make money right away from an online business, then there are other strategies that you'll use. So the main thing is to define, what it is, or how long it will be until you really want that income. If you're retiring next year and you have no income, other than maybe you're not even qualified for Social Security yet, or you have Social Security and you need that income right away, then something that takes a couple years to get going is just not going to work. So how long until you need that income? How much income? And then the next thing I want to mention is, do you want to sell this business for a capital gain later on? So believe it or not, websites, can turn into an incredible asset that you can sell. And this is becoming more and more mainstream. More and more websites are coming up, or services that are coming up, brokers, on the scene selling online businesses. And so think about, and this goes back to that overall wealth plan, do you want to do something that will eventually create a capital gain for you? Are you saying, well, I'd like to generate income from this of $3,000 a month or $10,000 a month or whatever it is for 10 years or 5 years, and then I want to be able to sell it for $500,000, $1 million. Believe it or not, this is this is what I'm seeing down the road. So think about if you would like to have a capital gain from it. If you do, then there's a certain strategy that you would follow versus, if you just want to generate income for a few years. So that is the next thing I wanted to mention. The next thing is it better to sell, a lot of people wonder, and I get questions about, is it better to sell information or is it better to have a physical product store? That really depends on you. And it goes back sort of to that wealth plan also, because it's about what you want to be doing with your time and your life. I love talking about investments. I love talking about money, and I also love self-help. I could just sit and talk about that all day and be delighted that anybody would listen or want me to help them. So that works for me. That's an information-based product. I also have an Amazon store, and I've enjoyed that as well. Are you introverted or extroverted? Do you want to get out around people? Introverts, while really an information business will work for either, a products business, you can just really never see anybody. And you can also delegate a lot of the running of a products business. So think about what it is that you're good at, what's your background, what has your career been in. And again, this is why an online business is so ideal after 50 because we do have that experience to pull from. So that's a really big consideration in figuring out if you want a products business or an information type business. And just so I'm kind of throwing out these terms, an information type business would be something like a website or consulting, or perhaps a publishing online business where you bring together a lot of different experts. It doesn't necessarily have to be your content. Whereas a physical product store would be more like a store where you're selling products from your website, salt, pepper shakers, that kind of thing, and or from Amazon. And then the next area to focus or question to ask yourself is, what are my skills that I can use in this business? What can I tap into that I already have that will help me hit the ground running with this online business? And again, as I mentioned a couple of times, we've been doing, things for years by the time we get past 50, right? So what are the things that you can tap into to help you with that? Then the next area that's related to that is, what are your skills? List out your skills. And, a lot of people discount their skills, or they think, oh, nobody would ever want me to help them with that. I am blown away by the amount of money that some people make from helping people, lose weight, or things that we think that wouldn't necessarily be something that someone would pay for. So don't discard or discount. That's what I should say. Discount your skills with this. And you may want to ask family and friends, although I will give you a word of warning that family and friends may think you're crazy if you're starting an online business. And so take that with a grain of salt. Maybe tell them you're writing a book, or you're going to be a consultant or coach, and what do they think that you're good at, in helping other people do or see that they couldn't do without you. So the next thing is, once you've done that and you've come up with your skills, you've looked at the financial piece of it, you've figured out what you can help other people with, then narrow your niche a little bit. And this is something that we've seen in our businesses, that, hard versus easy. The narrower your niche is, the easier it is to be successful within that niche, and the higher your value is as well. And then the next area to think about is how much time do you want to spend managing this online business? So this goes back to that very first thing about your wealth plan, what you want in your life, and that is, do you want an online business that's really passive, where you can delegate most everything, or do you want an online business that, are you happy to work? I like working. I've tried to retire. So I like some kind of mental stimulation. I know myself well enough to know, and my husband feels the same way. We like working. We like this part of life, regardless of our age. But other people, will comment on my YouTube channel, for example, gosh, that's so much work, or I don't want to do any of that stuff. Great. Then, have enough wealth that you don't have to. There's no right or wrong here. Most of the people that I know that have gotten to the point where they can retire and live financially independent enjoy some sort of focus on wealth creation or income stream creation after they retire. So how much, how much time do you want to spend? And I think a lot of that goes back to, do you have a hobby you're just super passionate about, or something else that you want to spend your time with, perhaps a really important volunteer charity type of contribution. And then the next big question is, how do you want to live? What lifestyle do you want? Some people are happy to work long hours, but they want to be able to work from their vacation home in, Taos versus, New York City or wherever. So what's important to you as far as your lifestyle? Is it locale freedom? Is it flexibility with your schedule? We really value flexibility with our schedule, being able to work from anywhere. That's really important to us, although we don't mind working a lot. So think about what matters to you. What kind of lifestyle do you want? Because this is all, what's the point of having money if you're not happy and you're not enjoying your life? What's the point in trying to invest and trying to build wealth? So that's what I wanted to share with you in this video, is just some tips to hopefully help you figure out the best online business to start before retirement. And if you like this information and want to see more videos similar to this, be sure to subscribe to my channel, click the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video, and feel free to leave a comment or ask a question. Thanks for watching.